everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. With all of Edge of Eternity spoiled and the dust settling now, we are getting to see the picture of what is going to be and what is the biggest chase cards of the set. Let's jump into it. These are gonna get expensive. First up in 10th place, that's right, 10th place at $17. We've got, and apologies for any mispronounced names, Alpha Royale Stone, chosen a 3/3 human cleric for 5 mana and black. Ward it, discard a card at random. My gosh, that is brutal. Void, whenever it attacks, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, defending player loses half their life, rounded up. My goodness, that is insane. So, again, not only are you getting the, hey, yeah, don't target me or you're probably going to lose something valuable. I mean, again, literally, unless you have nothing valuable in your hand, then you got nothing to lose. Great, or you don't have a hand. Good for you. But if you've got, like, really good cards in your hand, you're less likely to be able to target this. But you're going to want to target it because, well, that attack trigger is insane. And, of course, there are certain combos with this, well, like, oh, I don't know, Warlock class cards like that double up life loss. Yeah, any of those types of cards that double up life loss are just a 2-card combo with this commander. Of course, in the 99 as well, a very solid card too. Absolutely brutal as a commander, though. Look out for this one. It is absolutely disgusting. I mean, attack trigger decks can definitely consider it too. Oh no, I'm scared. That's just gonna be issued. Oh no. I mean, like, it's not a combo with that, like, technically like a one-shot, but it's still like, oh, by the way, you go down to like 1/4 of your life total. Gross. Next up, Stherra, the Super Void. What's better than a regular Void? A Super Void, of course. $19.28 for this legendary enchantment for 4 mana in black. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. Mean. At the beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creature, sacrifice Stherra, then put a creature card exile with it on the battlefield under your control, 2 additional counters on it. This is insane. I mean, when Wizards is just pushing things to the limits, they really are doing that. And they're pushing it into a black hole, literally. This is just saying, like, hey, literally, again, when any of your creatures die, any of your creatures, any one of them, anyone, doesn't have to be a non-token. It can be a token creature, it doesn't matter. Like Dictative Erebos, those types of cards. Yeah, this is that plus some in a way. Because all those cards get exiled, and then all of a sudden, hey, if any player has no creatures, this goes away. So your opponents are like, oh, thank goodness, this is finally gone. But of course, you're playing an Aristocrat-style deck, and like literally all their creatures are gone because you sacrificed a ton. And then basically, you just get to sacrifice this and cheat into play 1 creature, which is absolutely absurd. So yeah, basically, this is mass removal plus theft, plus your opponents will get nothing on the board ever. Have fun for like $20. And speaking of $20, Famish World, sire. Yeah, you knew this one was going to be expensive the second you saw it. $20.22 for this gem, a 0/0 Leviathan with Ward 3. Just put Hex for fun at Wizards, why not? 8 mana in green, Devour Land 3. And what does that mean? Well, sacrifice lands, cool. Alright, when it enters, though, look at the top, X card your library, X is this creature's power, put any number of land cards from them on the battlefield tap, then shuffle. So, yeah, off the top of the library, getting those lands, yeah, which is going to be an absurd amount again. Basically, 3 power per land. Go get all of those lands, throw them on the battlefield. So yeah, this is a great, like, deck that cares about sacrificing things, or deck that cares about landfall, or both, or just giant amounts of power too. Yeah, you're gonna get absolutely absurd, amazing things out of this giant Leviathan. Let's keep moving on, though, to Tanuk, Steadfast Second, a 3/5 Kavu pilot for 4 mana in red. Never in my life when I was a kid back playing, in Odyssey, and I was looking at cards from Invasion, and I saw the Kavu. I'm like, you know what? They're going to be flying spaceships someday. Nope, didn't think that. Other creatures you control have haste. Artifact cards and red cards in your hand have Warp 3. And again, Warp 3 means basically you can cast that card from your hand for its warp cost, but then it gets exiled at the beginning of next end step, and then cast it again from exile on a later turn. Here's the thing. Well, yeah, you can kind of cheat around that in some ways. Just by, like, blinking the card. Like, again, if you have, like, a Conjurer's Closet in play, you're like, okay, 3 mana, Blightsteel Colossus, there you go, cool, alright, into play for free. And then, by the way, Conjurer's Closet, and the turn, blinks that, and it goes away, and it comes back, and it ignores the fact that it was supposed to be exiled, basically, and recast later. Yeah, there's ways around that. This is basically like, hey, cheaty things into play, have fun. It's absolutely insane, absolutely crazy, and again, literally is a commander that gives all your creatures haste, which, of course, is just relevant as it is. So yeah, cheat on mana value, cheat on a lot of things. There's a reason why this one is $21. Not cheating on that price tag, though. My goodness, Oroid, that's a lot of O's in there. $23.04, that's a lot of dollars in there. A 1/3 plant worm for 4 mana in green. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X counters on each creature you control, or X is this creature's power. Yeah, I've already gone over an episode where I talked about a combo with this one. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check that out. But yeah, Sage of Hours, anyone? No? Anyone? This is an insane card, even without combos, though. Again, literally, even if you're just throwing this on the table and you say, okay, I'm not going to actually increase its power in any other way, it increases its own power. So then, therefore, every single combat, it starts giving out more counters, and more counters, and more counters, basically doubling that up each time. Till all of your creatures are absurdly massive powerful, but of course, I mean, you can skip steps and obviously, like, pump this to actually get extra counters on all the things more quickly. So yeah, counter strategy is going to love this, a power strategy is going to love this, a proliferate strategy is going to love this, a go wide strategy is going to love this. There's a lot of things that are going to love this one. Plant decks, woo! Those are definitely things, right? Maybe, I don't know. Worm decks? Yeah, there you go. Have fun with this one, but have fun at the cost of $23.04. And I probably should have mentioned that if you are interested in any of these insanely expensive cards, check out that card list link in the description below. Okay, I was going to say 24. It's 1 cent shy of $24, okay? $23.99. The Dominion Bracelet. It's a legendary artifact equipment for 2 mana. Costs only 1 to equip. Again, such a low cost, but also a very high cost when it comes to the price tag. Because it says equip creature gets ++1. And if that was it, this would be garbage. And it has pay 15, exile the Dominion Bracelet, which Bracelet just makes it sound kind of wimpy. No? Okay, anyways. You control target opponent during their next turn. Ah, gross, disgusting, amazing. All the things at once. This ability costs X less to activate, or X this creature's power. Activate always a sorcery. Galta, anyone? Any mono green players out there? Any Galta players? Just like, hey, Dominion Bracelet. I've always wanted to just start controlling other players during their turns, but I'm a mono green player, and well, Mindslaver really can't fit into the deck, because that's not really thematic. But this one's like, oh, by the way, giant amounts of power. Yeah, Galta's like, okay, pay 2. Take control of an opponent. Worst fears them. Yes, please. Yeah, this is an insane card. Probably one that's going to see more play than many players might want it to, where it's going to become kind of an annoyance card where, like, Mindslaver players are like, yeah, that's a card where, like, if you're playing that, we're probably going to target you next game. Okay? We're just probably going to do that. This one, at least, like, you can't, like, recur like Mindslaver, essentially. It exiles, and yes, rules lawyers out there be like, well, there technically are ways to recur it. Sure, okay, but, like, it's much harder to do. Yes, you're not going to use and abuse this as much. Yes. That being said, yeah, it is something that is quite obnoxious, quite insane, and it's going to see more play than it probably should. Yeah, if you've got a power-based strategy, if you've got an equipment-based strategy, if you've got a strategy where you're just like, Mindslaver here, Mindslaver there, worst fears everywhere, add this one to the deck. Who knew the Gaias Cradle that they just printed would be this expensive? Who could have guessed? $28.12 for a Vendo Waking Haven. That's a lot of trees on this planet. All right, it's a land planet. Cool. Enters tapped. Oh, no, it's slow. Oh, darn. Taps for a green, but it's got station. So, again, you can tap creatures you control, get charge counters on it, which is, again, interesting when you're stationing a planet. You're like, all right, station a battle, a spaceship. That makes more sense, right? Or a battleship, I was about to say. But, yeah, battleship, kind of same thing. Yeah, that makes more sense. Station a planet. All right, go work on that planet. Yep, okay, go do that. Regardless, once you get to that 12, hey, pay a green mana tap, add green for each creature you control. So, yes, technically it's not Gaia's Cradle, right? Gaia's Cradle is insane, is absurdly expensive. I mean, this is $30 basically, but, I mean, Gaia's Cradle's like $500, $800, whatever it is, dollars, so much more expensive. This is technically not that. This, though, does enter tapped, it is slower. It can give you mana right away, though, even if you don't have creatures in play. And you also have to pay 1 to tap it to get the mana for the creatures, sure, okay, so it's slightly worse than Gaia's Cradle than that. That being said, any opportunity that players have to like, oh, I've got another Gaia's Cradle, oh, I've got another Gaia's Cradle, oh, another one, we're starting to get more and more of these types of effects. They just chuck them into the deck. especially one that, again, doesn't really take up a spot in the deck because it is a land. Yeah, this is going to see a lot of play, even though it's incredibly expensive. So, yeah, congratulations, Wizards. You made another Gaia's Cradle. Woo! Also, congratulations, Wizards. You made another, Parallel Lives, basically. Goodness gracious, you just keep doing it. Just nonstop. You know they're gonna be chase cards every single time. You're like, yep, that's a guaranteed chase card. Here we go. $28.29, just barely edging out of Endo, Waking Haven, a 4/5 Angel Wizard with flying and lifelink for 5 mana in white. If one of our tokens are created under control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead, and it does have a warp cost of just 2. So if you do have, like, big explodey turn of, like, massive token creation about to happen, you can be like, I don't want to pay 5, I'll just pay 2, temporarily get this boost in tokens, and then go crazy, and then replay this, because you're probably just making a bunch of treasures anyways, and it'll pay for itself in that way. Yeah, this is absolutely absurd. Again, for all the reasons that Annoyed Procession sees play, that Parallel Live sees play, doubling season, but without the doubling the counters too, like that not on this. Okay, it's not doubling season, but still absolutely insane. And of course, 2 relevant creature types. Though, sorry, Wizards out there, a lot of Wizard decks aren't in white, so sorry about that. But Angel decks are like, yes, please. Absolutely crazy amount of value, and again, the price tag is not surprising. On top of that, it's got lifelink for some reason. It's like, oh, that's not good enough. Throw lifelink on there. Throw warp on there. It's not good enough. Players need a reason to play this one. Give them a reason. What? Wizards? Okay. Anyways, yeah, there's another token doubler. Go for it. What's more expensive than a Gaia's Cradle? Okay, well, technically not true. I don't think Tesaret Academy is actually more expensive because it's banned in Commander. But if it wasn't banned in Commander, just imagine the price of that. Yeah, Uthros, Titanic God Core. Yeah, here we go. Tesaret Academy in Commander. Gross. Land planet enters taps for a blue. Station, exact same thing. 12 plus as the other one, essentially, right? As a Vendo. Add blue for each artifact you control when you pay blue and tap this. Yeah, that is absolutely absurd. Again, what's more crazy than just like, hey, mana per creature, mana per artifact, because artifacts are the most broken thing in Magic. When I first started playing Magic in general when I was a kid, I was just like, artifacts are garbage. Like, what is this? What is this terrible thing? Why is this a good card? I don't understand. These are like little wimpy things. Artifacts are insane. Artifacts are absolutely crazy. This little 0-mana artifact that does like nothing, you're like, oh yeah, cool, that's a good card to throw in my Urza deck. Throw it in play. Yay, okay, cool, now it gives me extra mana. Yeah, absolutely crazy things you can do with artifacts. Broken things you can do with artifacts. You can get them out so quickly, so efficiently, so many of them out there. And of course, they're just getting more absurd these days, again, with like the proliferation of treasures and all the other different kinds of tokens too. Yeah, you can get absurd amount in play. Tap this and go like, oh yeah, I've got 20 mana out of a land from my deck. That I did basically nothing other than just play my deck to get that amount of mana? Good for me. Cool. All right. Bye-bye. Finally, though, $55.78. My goodness. Tesaret Cruel Captain. Tesaret! Again, whose bingo card had Tesaret surviving until this point? Anyone? Okay. For starting loyalty, Tesaret is of course, a Planeswalker for just 3 mana. The magic number for Planeswalkers that kind of take things over, right? It's like, oh yeah, this one just costs 3 for some reason. My goodness. Back in the day with like Liliana, oh my gosh. Okay, anyways. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tesaret. Because it wasn't easy enough to get counters on this. I mean, I guess it's not, because you can't really do anything else. Anyways, pay 0, untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a counter on it. Okay, that's already pretty crazy because, again, like untapping artifacts, like, okay, Soul Ring, untap, all right, 2 extra mana, yay, good for me, yay. -3, search life for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less, reveal, open your hand, then shuffle. Okay, Soul Ring. Or, again, like other kinds of potential combo-y artifacts as well. That being said, -7, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 3 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, becomes a 0/0 robot artifact creature. So this is a, well, incredibly easy Planeswalker to get a ton of, loyalty counters on. Again, getting artifacts in play, super easy. So you can very easily get emblems. And I do say emblems because, again, emblems. You can activate this probably multiple times with the ultimate to get multiple emblems, and all of a sudden get a massive army. So there you go. And there's some crazy broken things that you can do when you turn like certain non-creature artifacts into creature artifacts and just, combo E2 in that way. But of course, it's also a tutor for some pretty insane things. And of course, the untapping. Yeah, outside of this one, for Commander, obviously it's going to see play in other formats too, but yeah, in Commander, it can definitely see play, of course, in a Planeswalker deck. It's also just like, it is a colorless Commander, or Commander, I said Commander. Planeswalker, so it can see play in any deck out there versus like any other Planeswalker. It's pretty absurd. There's a reason why it's this expensive. It's pretty crazy. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.